Everything manifests from God, everything unmanifest to God. Chapter 1. God. In the beginning there was nothing except Him and His infinite intelligence. Then there was everything. From the infinite intelligence of God, manifested the cosmos. Everything in the cosmos is divine in nature, composed by God, reflecting His intelligence. The light of God from the beginning has been on a journey, shining forever. The same God that lived beyond everything made the cosmos with all kinds of plants, birds, and animals. God made everything divine in nature so they coexist with one another in harmony. Over time, by the blessing of evolution, God made humans, His greatest creation, with a divine soul and a body, like every other plant, bird, and animal. The soul and a body that lived in the nature of the divine gave birth to a mental being made of thoughts as the classical identifier of the quantum world. A human mind made of perceptions, a computer, a cosmic marvel, God's own child. Like God made the soul made the body for us, the mental being, to be born. The mental being, the self or the mind, is an active agent and a respondent to his nature evolving over sleep. The more thoughts our mind carries, the farther away we are from our God, the soul. Thus the self will descend to earth from heaven as he forgot the soul and lives in an astray covered by the thoughts, allowing his thoughts to take control of his life instead of the unthinking divine soul. For the self to return to his master, he must clear all kinds of thoughts from his mind. Only then will he join with the soul, back in heaven where God guides them with protection. The journey of God, from the cosmos to life, all for a divine soul to evolve over time. As part of the journey, every soul will meet his friend, a mental being known as we, the mind, a combination of biological microbes that is made to simulate a mental being, keeping us alive and aware, guided by his intelligence. The journey of the soul is to be born again in another body in the future, while we, the self, cease to exist. Everything exists for us to witness a blink in an eternity of darkness as an adventure of a lifetime. Everything is made by God. Humans are capable of transforming their intelligence into other forms through creation, which indeed is one of the divine abilities of God Himself. Hence, God Himself has granted His most loved ones the ability to create with intelligence. It is true that human intelligence isn't God's intelligence, but it is also true that human intelligence is the creation of God, like any other creation. Whether we choose to believe it or not, we are the creation of God, possessed with the ability to shine the divine light in a way designed by the designer himself. Intelligence is a gift, passed from the Father of all that exists as eternal to the Son that lives in a physical reality, which is our soul. Everything that exists is a gift of God. Faith in God depends on one's ability to perceive reality in its natural form. Everything is divine in nature, including the human mind. A mind that aligns with the nature of the divine becomes divine. God shines divinity through a mind that is with God rather than a mind in chaos. The angels will raise them to heaven and free them from sufferings caused by what's unnatural. Human beings, when aligned with the nature of the divine, evolve as commanded by nature, like any other creation. Everything evolves as by nature. Nature evolves by God. Everything evolves by God. God gave humans free will, placed them at the top of the intelligence, food chain, and society for an unknown divine purpose, and definitely not for man to deny God. A mind that aligns with the nature of the divine witnesses the divinity God has hidden in everything in the outside world and inside his own mind. Everything exists with the divine blessing of God. Human beings, the most intelligent creation of God, have the free will to perceive reality and to validate it with their own reasoning and to evolve on their own. We perceive everything as just not how it exists, but how we choose to believe. In the absence of God, life has no purpose other than to be a slave of thoughts and other material distractions. By nature, man realizes the divine purpose of his existence and everything else when his mind is aligned with the nature of the divine. A man who serves his mind to God shines the divine light of God through him. Always remember that God is everywhere outside and inside your mind. Our own subconscious is a reincarnation of God, which is truly divine and gave birth to us, the self. We, the self, only exist from the repetitive feeding of thoughts incepted in our mind years after the birth of our subconscious. Before that, the soul was alone in a journey from a singularity, from a womb to an identity to the world, for us to be born as an agent that guides our soul. Our body isn't truly ours, but is beyond us as it exists long before our actual birth. So does our soul, the father of our body and us. We are the consciousness that was born due to the inception of thoughts, including our name, parents, and society in the mind. Long before us, our body existed, and in it lived our soul. The concept of God, the one who gave birth to everything and governs everything from his intelligence, not only exists as a myth, but also reflects through an awakened and undistracted mind and in every other creation. An intellectual human who truly believes in God always evolves at their best socially and mentally. Absence of thoughts and acceptance of the divine void, with a realization of the illusionary bondage of one's thoughts and material possessions and emotions, will help man stay calm and relaxed with the confidence he obtained from the fact that he has a companion who knows God, his God, the soul. Staying relaxed, knowing God, enables man to see the unseen dimensions of the universe and everything in it. A galaxy of biological beings exists in this vast cosmos, advancing in civilization for an unknown yet divine purpose. We are neither our soul nor our body, but an observer of our mind, body, and soul. Man is of God by birth as a soul living in a body, turned into a man of thoughts after the birth of a self or an observer. Man should see the reflection of God that shines in himself and in every other creation, which he masters when he lives in the nature of the divine. For him to evolve in sleep, for him to learn from God, for him to shine the light of God, for him to take care of his family, for him to guide the society, for him to live a peaceful life, for him to know the real meaning of life, for him to share the wisdom of God, for him to bring peace and harmony in the name of God, for him to know the God above, for him to know the God inside, for him to serve his God until the soul is separated from the self by death. During each cycle of birth, evolution, and death, the soul evolves into many over time. A reincarnation or just another creation for sure. Either way, the unknown invisible made a visible world for a soul to evolve in a physical body. Either for transcendence, survival, or for no reason at all, man exists by the blessing of God. Man should see godliness in his own soul and in every other creation for him to evolve as God's own creation, perfectly preserving and transferring the soul to the offspring in its purest form. Quite normal it is for an awakened intellectual to be bounded by thoughts and to live in a reality separated by thoughts that distance him from God. From a singularity to an advanced civilization, human beings experience and take part in the harmony of God knowingly or unknowingly, passing the divine soul from the beginning forward to the future. Everything in its natural form aligns with the nature of the divine, and humans have the free will to align or misalign with the nature of the divine. God has always reflected through mindful beings. Humans, the ultimate creation of God, by nature shine the light of God through them. Intellectuals from the ancient times have witnessed the divine light of God and preserved their wisdom for the future of humanity as they understood the chaos that could arise from the absence of knowing God, individually and socially. However, the misinterpretations and misunderstandings of future minds that are lost in chaos by their own thoughts change God from an infinite, intelligent mind that exists in everything and everywhere to a myth. It is unknown whether the one soul evolving through us is the same creator or just another creation. But it is definite that the essence of God has always been reflected through minds that are ready to accept, prospering their lives, opening doors to the unseen dimensions of reality, and providing strength, wisdom, and guidance for them to rise higher and to shine brighter. A mind that is divine in nature senses the presence of the unknown creator and his wisdom. God is the ultimate truth. A mind that knows the truth sees the truth. A mind that sees the truth shines the truth. A mind that shines the truth becomes the truth. One should regain their natural sense, which indeed is godly, that was lost in the process of separation and distraction by our own thoughts.